Okay, we really need to talk because next week you could look at the start, and I mean just the start of a multi-week or multi-month rally for Tesla stock. Now, I'll explain exactly why that is, to the point in which no matter what your investing skill level is, you should be able to understand this and hopefully profit from it. Now, I am not a financial advisor, I am not a financial planner, and I am surely not a fortune teller, so anything can happen. But I will share with you what big money is saying about Tesla's shareholder meeting. That's what this is about. And I want to put it all out there for you guys so you are not ill-informed of the potential outcome here, to the positive or to the negative. So I think to start off this video, we'll start with the bad, okay? It's pretty straightforward, it's pretty simple. As I've said before, and I will say it again, if Elon's comp package is not reapproved and reinstated, Tesla stock is probably going to sell off 20-30% over the course of the next, couple of weeks. And that's just the simplest way to put it. It's simple. If it does not go through, big downside, okay? And 20% sell off from here would put you at about 140. I have to zoom out the chart a little bit to go down 30%. A 30-ish% sell off from here would put you in the neighborhood of about $123 per share. It could sell off more than that. It could go down to 100, which would be downside of over 42%. And that's why you've seen a lot of those big trades targeting deep in the money puts. There is a need, and some people want to go out and hedge their position. Now, good news is if you also wanted to hedge your position for any large potential downside, you can still do that, and that is still your choice. That's not personally what I am doing, but that is your choice to do so. And tomorrow I will be making a video how you can hedge out your portfolio with different strategies of just outright buying puts, selling calls to offset, the price of the puts, the risk to rewards, the balances between hedging and different strategies that you can do. So if you are curious about maybe how to limit some of your downside, yes, you give up some upside if things go good for Tesla, then that video is going to be perfect for you coming tomorrow. But that's the simplest explanation for the bad side of what could happen on June 13th. You're looking at some huge downside. Now, I do think to some degree that is already priced into Tesla stock ever since January 30th when the judge shot down Elon's compensation package, right? That's kind of already priced in. It's not new information. And really, ever since the start of 2024, when Tesla stock was as high as $165 per share, there's been a bunch of different things that have happened since, right? Tesla's management seems to have gotten their act together. They seem to be doing things to better, Tesla's business, right? They seem to be a lot different of a company than you had in, the first quarter of 2024. Maybe people were still pretty negative on Tesla's, decisions then. And especially in the second half of 2023. Seems like we got a brand new company here. That's been a big positive as of lately, right? And it seems like Tesla's going to focus on, profitable growth. Seems like they're going to focus on getting back to profitability among focusing on AI and other things. I think if you are watching this video, you probably understand Tesla's a much better business now than it was even just a couple of months ago. And not necessarily the business is doing much better, but the communication to investors is much better. The clarity and the path forward is much better now. I mean, for 5 earnings calls in a row, we got a bunch of complaining and mumbo jumbo. The last earnings, we had a lot of questions get answered, and that was a big positive for Tesla stock. But you also enter 2024 with the expectation that we're going to get 6 rate cuts. That did not happen. Fine, whatever. The economy is doing better than people thought. Okay, I don't think that's a huge deal. But the compensation package. There is doubt, and there has been doubt since the start of 2024 that Elon Musk might just leave Tesla. And that has been a big weighing factor on Tesla stock. And I think that is probably the biggest reason of all why Tesla stock is $175 stock and some change. The fact of the matter is, if Elon's compensation package gets voted back into approval, then that big weight is going to be lifted off of Tesla. And I think that is something that not a lot of people even recognize has been weighing against Tesla. Like, if you asked institutional investors why Tesla stock is, down so much in 2024, they're going to say price cuts. They're going to say less cuts by the Fed. They're going to say this. They're going to say that. In the grand scope of things, Tesla stock started trading down after, Judge Kathleen McCormick shot down Elon's comp package. I think that is well over 50% of the downside that we have seen in Tesla stock, because Elon Musk is so important to the valuation of Tesla. Even if there is a slight remote chance that Elon could leave Tesla, Wall Street prices that in. And with Tesla, bad news just seems to be really, really bad news. So we've just established kind of the biggest drag on Tesla stock that most of the markets don't even recognize, which was, again, Elon's comp package being ruled null and void back on January 30th. It seemed like it was going to be voted against through, since the start of 2024, right? That was already getting priced into Tesla stock once you started 2024. So clearly, if the package gets reinstated, that is overall a huge positive, like a much bigger positive than you probably think. Dan Ives just said this on X like 1 hour ago, 2 hours ago. He says, on the Musk $56 billion comp package, this has been an area of hot button contention among some investors, but we would expect the 2018 package will be overwhelmingly reapproved and given green light next week at Tesla's shareholder meeting, one overhang removed next week. Gary Black just said this: I continue to expect proposal number 4 on Elon Musk's 2018 comp plan will pass easily at next week's AGM. Given the beefed up disclosures in this year's proxy statement, I doubt Chancery Judge Kathleen McCormick will strike it down again if there is a second vote of approval. Why do I believe Tesla shareholders will approve Elon's comp plan a second time? Elon's comp plan passed 73% approval in 2018. Since the June 2018 AGM, Tesla stock is up 8x versus the NASDAQ up 1.6x. And number 3, Elon earned it, and it's the fair thing to do. Number 4, Tesla is in the midst of a strategic pivot away from EV sales and is dependent on growth via autonomy and AI. And number 5, given a sharp headcount reduction and departure of many key executives, Elon Musk is now all the more critical to Tesla's future. Basically saying, let's just long story short that, it's probably going to pass and Elon's comp package will be reinstated, because if it is not, Tesla's stock is going to fall a lot. And investors probably don't want their stock to fall unless they have some kind of egotistical battle going on in their minds with Elon Musk. Now, really down to the numbers of all of this and why I think June 13th could be a massive day for Tesla stock, let alone the following weeks or months following June 13th, which I would expect to see a continued rally, is because of all of the shorting that has taken place in Tesla. Now, yes, there's about 4% short interest, over $18 billion currently sold short in the stock, and 105 million shares sold short. That's a large short position, one of the largest single stock short positions in all of our markets. And that's a multi-year high for Tesla. Great. I'm not even really considering this into the equation. But here's the way that I'm looking at things. And here's just the simple fact of the matter. All of these hedge funds and institutions, they have went out. They have bought these deep in the money puts that forces market makers to go out and delta hedge for those positions. So you currently have millions and millions of shares, probably 40 to 50 plus million shares that have been short in the past couple of days or last week or two. in Tesla stock just by the market makers because of all of these very large option hedges that institutions are putting on their Tesla position, right? Now, what happens if the vote goes through and Tesla stock goes higher? Market makers, they instantly go out and they will buy all of those shares back because these are not speculative, out the money options. These are puts that are deep in the money. So market makers, they don't have a choice but to go out and short stock when those positions are being put on and to buy back stock when those positions start to go against them, start to go the opposite way, aka Tesla stock goes higher. So from a pure kind of, data perspective, you have not only 105 million shares that are sold short from hedge funds, institutions, retail, anyone, but you also have a massive short position that's very liquid, that's not subject to, hey, do we want to cover on that short position or not? No, this is actually like if the stock goes up, those shares will get covered. If the stock goes down, those shares will not get covered, right? That's it. That's all. That's the market maker's job. So if the package does go through, that's why I think you could get a 10, 15, 20% move higher in Tesla stock on June 13th itself. Now, the options market is only pricing in about 8%. So there's clearly a disparity here. If Tesla stock goes up 15% on June 13th, that would put the stock right at about $204 per share. A 20% rally on June 13th would put the stock closer to about 210 to 11 or so. So I actually think there's a big opportunity for an upside trade here, although I think a lot of us, that doesn't make sense because we already have a lot of Tesla stock, and if the stock goes up 20% in a day, you're going to make a lot of money anyways. But that's kind of what I'm expecting, right? I think there's probably a 75+% chance the comp package does go through and Tesla stock could end June 13th up into the 200s. Now, I do think that's more of a better case scenario around 210. I think more of a base case scenario is around 195 to 205. I think that range is a little bit more appropriate. I think if you start to get more of those, $18 billion, short positions that start to cover, then that could obviously drive you, well into the 210s or maybe even higher than that, considering how much Tesla is down in 2024. But in a more base case scenario, you're looking at about 16% from current prices to get to about 205, and 195 would be about 11%. That's my lowest expectation for a yes vote on Elon's comp package coming on June 13th. So yeah, I think there's a lot more potential upside here than what the markets are currently expecting, that's for sure, and even what a lot of you guys might be expecting as well. So let me know what you think about all of this information down below in the comments section. If you guys want to come join the trading community, get access to all of the trades that I make every time I make them, check that out, link down below in the description of this video. I'm probably going to go ahead and put an option trade on Tesla. Might start that position coming on Monday, although I really want to see what happens with the Fed and CPI. I'm pretty confident CPI is going to come in lower than expected, but we'll have to kind of wait and see. Again, let me know your expectations for June 13th down below in the comments section. You guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.